I'm good, man. Hello, everybody. Spider here, the Fight Card Podcast. Once again, being joined by Jimmy the Brick Flick. My man, how are you, bro?
Hey, man, doing good, doing good.
Hey, man, I appreciate you jumping on this with me once again. We're going to be going over the LFA 128 card going down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now, real quick, man, over the weekend, you had your first commentary job. So how did that go?
Hey, man, it went great. My wife hooked me up, got me an awesome suit. So it was looking good, looking fresh out there. Got a lot of good compliments, and it turned out great, man. I loved being on the mic, and I'm hoping to do some more commentating gigs. If anybody's interested, contact me. I'm not that expensive, so we can make it work. And I'm looking to do more and possibly ring announcing in the future. We'll see.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you're sticking with the sport, man. Definitely, more power to you, man. I'm looking forward to more. We're gonna go over the card, like I said. This is for the Legacy Fighting Alliance, number 128. I'm gonna go over the prelims real quick. The bout itself, of course, it's gonna start off with Zach Zulcer. This is gonna be an amateur bout. 1-1 taking on George Tapalegui. Mispronounced the name. I know I tried it earlier. 2-1 as an amateur. You were an amateur fighter at once. At one point, what was your experience starting off, man? Were you kind of nervous when you started your fight career?
Yeah, my first amateur fight was in, I think it was Clean or Killer, Texas, and it was in a bar with a cage, of standing room only, and smoking cigarettes. Everybody's smoking cigarettes. So these guys being able to fight on the undercard of LFA is amazing. It's a great venue, great company, so it's a good experience for these guys.
Oh, no, by all means, man. And of course, when it comes to making your pro debut, man, of course, we talked about this with the Bellator MMA, of course. So just want to plug that in.
Yeah.
We'll go to the second bout, another amateur bout. This is going to be at 135 pounds. Cheyenne Bowers taking on Kaylee. Now, on this one, because of course, you fighting at a lower weight class, when you were. Now, 135, is there a difference when it goes down to the lower weights? From your experience when it comes to a fight, like a strength, power from the guy, should I say?
Most definitely. It all comes down to, how much weight you cut, you want to cut. Also, though, if you cut a lot of weight, your cardio could affect you in later rounds. Somebody that doesn't cut a lot of weight, they might, have to overdo the power early on. But in later rounds, second half of round two, going into the third round, if that person cut too much and their cardio is not there no more, power only helps you so much. I think you got to find a center media there. Like for me, like if 130 was a weight class, it would have been perfect. Like 130, I could make it good. I felt comfortable. Once you got under that 4 pounds and had to get down to 26, 25 is a big difference, but 35 was too big, then I would only weigh 140 the next day. So you just got to find out where you fall into place.
No, and that's a good the fact that you bring up a 130 cash weight or even just the weight class in itself, because they've done that with the Khabib promotion, of course, doing the 165.
Yeah.
So every pound helps, right?
Yes.
My man, we're going to go up one. Of course, this is the prelim. It's going to be at 170 pounds. Brett Biden taking on Jalan Olton, 2-0, of course, the amateur circuit. 170 pounds, man. That weight class right now is pretty much fire when it comes to the weight divisions. For these guys, of course, let me ask you this, because I've seen it happen.
Lost you.
Sorry
Good?
about that. But yeah, man, guys, when they go pro, when they fight in the regional circuits, a lot of times they end up dropping down the weight class just to be able to compete at that higher level, man. So, is it smart for them to compete at a regular weight class right now and then work their way up?
Oh, yeah, I think that's very smart. Get the experience, feel the power, feel the strength, your advantages, your disadvantages. And when you go pro, there's no going back. That record sticks forever.
No, no, definitely, man. I just wanted to get your 2 cents on that. We're going to go up one. This is going to be at 135 pounds. Abukar, of course, Adamu taking on Andrew Triolo, sorry. Once again, both guys are making their amateur debut and their pro debut, I'm sorry. But, once again, man, this is going to be making their pro debut on a promotion like LFA. Of course, you can't get better than that, bro.
Not at all. Not at all.
Now, once again, that is going to be prelims. The last prelim on the card is going to be Sarek Shields taking on Tat Jean. Now, both guys are 2-0. Is there a lot more pressure being undefeated as a pro fighter, man? I mean, one of the O's must go, like they say, but is there a lot of pressure, bro?
I think so, especially when you're fighting an undefeated guy. Um, it makes a big difference because, like you said, some of these O's got to go, and you're fighting a guy that's pretty decent. With 2 wins, especially at the professional level. So I think it makes you train harder, and then sometimes in these cases, we'll see who wants it more.
Yeah, no, I mean, by all means, man. Of course, that brings us to the main card, man. Once again, this is for Legacy Fighting Alliance number 128. Starting off the main card, this is going to be on the UFC Fight Pass. Devin Dixon, 4-1, taking on Richie Miranda, 3-0. Now, it's a catch weight of 160. We talked about that weight difference. Of course, I'm pretty sure maybe one of the guys couldn't make weight, so that they agreed on this.
My guess would be with it being on LFA, they probably agreed on this fight within like 3 to 4 weeks notice. And therefore, that's probably why they did a catch weight here, because both guys are very experienced in the amateur level and the professional level.
You see, and I mean, saying with just that, I mean, of course, like you said, a lot of times it's a lot easier maybe to go down in weight than to go up one weight class. I'm pretty sure both guys will probably be smaller at the 170-pound weight division. So, I mean, after this bout, are you thinking, okay, both guys are going to try to stick in the 155?
Most definitely. From looking them up in their amateur and their pro career, they look like they're solid lightweights for sure.
Definitely, man. Now we're gonna go up one. Once again, this is gonna be a pro card, the main card, 135 pounds. Mitchell McKee, 1-0, taking on Jalen Jackson, 0-1. I mean, who's looking at more pressure going into this fight? The guy with the losing fight or one with the undefeated? I mean, as of right now.
Man, Mitchell McGee being 1-0, no amateur experience, but he's coming off of his 1 win by knockout as well.
Yeah.
And you got Jalen Jackson. He was 0-2 as an amateur, 0-1 as a professional. In his first professional fight was against Justin Meade, which is currently 3-1 as a professional. I follow Justin. I know him pretty good. So that was a good fight for him to have under his belt. So right now it's up to Jalen to decide, does he really want to get this win? So it is very dangerous for Mitchell McGee to have to fight a guy that has lost 2 as an amateur, 1 as a pro. And I'm sure this guy's not just fighting for money. He wants to get a win.
No, for sure, man. And that's a good thing that you bring up because a lot of times fighters are just looking to get paid. Would you say one is more dangerous than the other when it comes to somebody that's looking to make a career out of it to somebody that just wants to get paid for that night?
Always. It's always very dangerous, even if the guy is just showing up for money, then it's even a better situation for him because then he's probably going out there throwing everything he has, doesn't care if he gets beat, doesn't care if he gets taken down or choked out, which Mitchell McGee, coming off of the KO, got a lot of hype behind him, probably no amateur experience. So I'm guessing maybe he had something before then, maybe boxing back in the day, wrestling, something, usually if you go straight pro. So I'm sure he's looking to go 2-0, and it's a great matchup for him because he's fighting a guy with 3 fights but no win yet, and he's only 1-0. So I think it's a good match here on the matchmakers.
No, I mean, by all means, man, they definitely did their work with this one, so we'll see, man. Main card, so I expect fireworks, man. Now we're gonna go up. Of course, this is gonna be the co-main event. Jimmy Lawson, 3-1, taking on Marino Eatman, 5-4. Experience against somebody with a 3-5 win streak.
Yeah, and also Jimmy Lawson, he has a loss. His one loss was by a decision to a guy that knocked out Mario.
Yes.
Eatman. So if he's looking at that, he's like, I went to a decision with that guy, and the guy knocked him out. So I'm looking, maybe he thinks he's got a better chance with the stand-up. He also has an 18-second knockout on his record. He comes out of AKA. No amateur experience either. So I think Jimmy Lawson here has got some good hype behind him. I think it's a great matchup fighting a guy with 10 professional fights. Eatman also had an amateur fight. And so this guy's got a lot of experience, and I think they're bringing in to test out Jimmy Lawson here.
No, yeah, and one of the things you bring up, because Lawson, of course, he is from the AKA Academy. Um, on the other hand, Marino Eatman's training, fighting out of MMA Masters out of in Florida. I mean, that's where
Oh,
he.
okay, nice.
Yeah, so that's actually a lot of gym hype behind both guys. So I'm definitely looking forward to that because it is the heavyweight division under 265. Are you thinking these guys are going to walk in over 265 fight night?
Some of them can. I think if they hit the scale close to 265, most likely they cut to get to 265.
Okay, and let me ask you this: when I'm on that subject, do you think there's room in MMA for super heavyweights?
Yes, but I don't think in the UFC. Unfortunately, um, those bigger guys, they're meant for 3 3-minute rounds or 3 5-minute rounds because it's going to be a knockout. And usually after 2 rounds, we're not going to see anything special. Don't get me wrong. There's a few guys out there that are very athletic and that could do it, like Sirgan, for example. But even when he got wrestled, his cardio wasn't there. So you add in all that and them guys being that big. I mean, Rex Rufford, I think's his name. He used to fight super heavyweight. I watched him fight a few fights super heavyweight. Shane Carwin used to fight super heavyweight before making it to the UFC. And what's crazy is the UFC heavyweight weigh-in, it used to be 268 and only 265 for a title. I don't know when that changed, but now there's no 268. They didn't. So I guess 266 is the pound allowance. So if it's not a title fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that because that's true, man. I didn't think about it, but I'm definitely looking up for that.
Brock,
Once again, man.
Brock came in at 268 a few times.
Yeah, yeah, they came in a little bit heavy, man. But yeah, but that was the co-main event for the LFA, of course, 128. The main event, Aaron Mckenzie, 10-2-1, of course, taking on Lucas Clay, 8-1. For the main event, 155-pound title on the line. I mean, Aaron Mckenzie is from your neck of the woods, man, out there in Oklahoma.
Aaron Mckenzie is a beast. And what I have wrote down here for Aaron is this guy's traveled all over with LFA, in his last couple fights. Both of his losses are by decision. He has one draw that I watched live. And the way that fight happened is he got a 10-8 round in round one and almost finished AJ Nichols. Dominated 10-8. AJ came back and won round 2 and 3. That's why we had a draw. I actually called it live that night, like I was in the crowd watching it. I was like, it's got to be a draw. Sure enough, it was. He has an 8-3 amateur record. I mean, the guy's got the experience. I think this is a great title fight. He's fighting Clay, which is 8-1 as a professional, 5-1 as an amateur. He's on a 4-fight winning streak. Aaron's on a 3-fight winning streak. His only loss is to a decision to Trey Ogden, which is making his UFC debut here in a couple of weeks. So these guys, I think this win, they're going straight to the UFC or the Tuesday Night Contender right after this.
No, and I was going to ask you about that because I mean, both guys, of course, have been fighting for the LFA promotion, so they're LFA fighters. This bout, of course, obviously, it was meant to be because they're going to catapult them. I mean, of course, the UFC is the Super Bowl of MMA here in the U.S. Let me ask you, one of the things that I noticed about Aaron Mckenzie is that, like yourself, he's actually a veteran of LFC.
Yeah, man, and he's went over when they were traveling around, going to different states.
Yeah.
He fought in like 3 different states, from Oklahoma City to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I think up in Kansas when they were up there too. So the guy's got the experience. If you watch one of his LFA fights, he got hurt really bad, got split open, was in trouble, and he just had that warrior heart. He comes back, and I believe he choked the guy out in the same round or in the next round. But either way, he had a big comeback in LFA. And I think that really catapulted them to this LFA title. I don't think he said no to any fights they've offered him. And I think this is a great title fight. I would actually like to see the winner go straight to the UFC with their experience. But we know how the opportunities come on the Tuesday Night Contender. And if the UFC calls, you're not going to tell them no.
No, yeah, definitely, man. And I will say this because it has happened before on a lot of the promotions that are on the UFC Fight Pass. A lot of times they get picked up before they even fight.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to look at. So hopefully this won't happen. That way we can see this matchup. But once again, man, this is going to be LFA 128 going down April 8th, which is going to be next Friday. And of course, for those watching, it is going to be on the UFC Fight Pass when it comes to the main card. Jamie, before we wrap this up, bro, of course, I wanted you to plug in that book you got coming up, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man, we got The Brick Wall, The Unbreakable Brick. It's, a story about my life. They tell you when life gives you lemons, you make lemonades. Well, life hit me with a lot of bricks. So I built a brick wall to keep me away from the negative stuff. I didn't want to be a statistic growing up in life. And that's what I was supposed to be. And I beat that. And then kind of explain why I retired and why I lost the drive to fight. But as you can see, I ain't lost the drive for mixed martial arts. I want to commentate. I want to be there for people. I plan on opening a gym. So if you follow me on my fan page, Jimmy the Brick Flick, you can type in www.thebrickmma.com. Takes you straight there. My Instagram is the Brick MMA, just at the Brick MMA. I'm on Twitter at Jimmy Flick, but just wherever you follow me, I'm posting, I'm talking, I'll answer messages. Hopefully the book will be out in the next, I'm gonna say like 6 months, just with everything. So, but in 2022 for sure.
Let me ask you this, man, because you're on a few platforms. Can we maybe see the Brick at TikTok? Maybe have you out there dancing a few times.
Yeah, I got to get on there. My wife keeps telling me, my daughter, she's 9, almost 10 years old. She's very active on it. So I'm gonna have to get on TikTok for sure. I plan on doing some jiu-jitsu seminars, traveling around with my book, and I'll probably have to get more active on TikTok. Why, I can post up my jiu-jitsu stuff and have people start following me for that jiu-jitsu and my book.
No, for sure, man. And of course, I'm going to plug this in because I do want to bring you here to San Antonio when you start steep rolling with the seminars.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Something we're gonna work with. But my man, I appreciate you once again.
I appreciate you, man, and we'll get back on the next LFA. LFA 128 is going to be fireworks.
Yes, sir. Don't hang up yet, bro. Everybody else, Jimmy the Brick Flick. Of course, this is Spider here at the Fight Club Podcast. Till next time, follow up.